Hi, I'm Ruth Bartolo, registered dietitian with LivWell Health. Today I'm going to be talking to you and showing you a demonstration on how to make pizza at home. Everyone loves pizza, and this super simple dough is actually very universal. You can make it at home. It's a little bit healthier. It's probably things you already have in your pantry, and it uses ingredients that are very universal. And then this dough, beyond just pizza dust, you can make a few alterations and make things like breadsticks, pretzels, even homemade bagels. So it has a lot of different applications for you. So my super simple dough, the big star is self-rising flour. Any kind of flour won't do, it has to be that self-rising. What the difference between regular flour and self-rising is self-rising has that leavening agent, which is going to make it puff up, and otherwise your pizza would be really flat and not in the best kind of way. The other big star of our 2-ingredient dough is going to be our Greek yogurt. This is really one of the key ingredients, and the big thing about this is we want it to be plain and unflavored, and it does need to be Greek yogurt. So Greek yogurt is drained and processed in a different way than traditional yogurt, and it has a thicker texture. The consistency of Greek yogurt is more close to sour cream, and plain yogurt actually has a flavor that's really similar to sour cream. It's a great thing to swap out on your recipes if you're making baked potatoes or making your chili toppings. Greek yogurt's a great substitution for that sour cream. But it's really important in this recipe that we use the Greek yogurt because the protein helps make the dough and do the formations like we should. And because we're making pizza, the third ingredient to our dough is actually just a little bit of Italian seasoning. This is just gonna kick it up a notch so our pizza doesn't taste like that bagel or that breadstick that I mentioned we could make otherwise. So it's equal parts self-rising flour and Greek yogurt. We're gonna make a small pizza today, so that's gonna be a half a cup of self-rising flour and then a half a cup of Greek yogurt. Just put it in a bowl, and then I'm just gonna use about a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. If you don't like Italian seasoning, feel free to leave this out. If you'd rather use something else, any other seasoning blend would be a good choice in here. But you'll just start to kind of stir it, and you'll see when you stir, it looks like flour and it starts to get a little bit thicker like dough. You'll just keep stirring till it's looking more like a dough. It starts to get more and more crumbly. Keep stirring. And then as you can tell, as we stir and get it more incorporated, it looks more and more like a dough. Once it gets to this stage where everything's pretty well incorporated, we can start to go ahead and knead it like a normal dough. Just like any other dough that you would knead, you just take the dough out. This is some I prepared ahead of time, and you just kind of flour your hands and your work area. It doesn't have to be a lot. What we're doing is we're adding this flour so that it's not sticking. So when we make our dough, we're just doing a simple knead. And when we knead the dough, usually you see everyone doing all these fancy techniques on dough kneading. And the big thing is that we're being consistent. We're stretching it out, pulling it towards us, pushing it flat. And you just want to kind of get this all worked up so it's well incorporated and looks like a dough. It's looking pretty good, a little bit sticky, so I'm going to add a little bit more flour here. And then we're gonna go ahead and start making our pizza into dough. Now this is a great thing you could use a rolling pin for, or you can hand stretch it, whatever the case may be. We are actually gonna make a small individual pizza today, so we might not even use our whole dough, and that's fine. This makes probably a small to medium pizza in your oven. You wanna go ahead and get that preheated to 425 degrees. After we get our pizza dough formed out into the perfect pizza shape, we'll just put that pizza into the oven and bake it for about 2 to 5 minutes. This is just pre-baking the dough so that it's not doughy on the inside when we go to make our final pizza. So now that we've baked our pizza, it's just gone in for about 2 to 3 minutes, and you can see it's starting to get brown on the edges. It's golden. It's still a little doughy and soft, but it has mostly done. So now we're just ready to top our pizza. I have just some of my favorite pizza sauce. This is just prepared sauce I've gotten from the store. You can use regular spaghetti sauce if you don't have pizza sauce. You can find some recipes that are pretty simple to make your own pizza sauce that typically involve tomato paste, a little bit of tomato sauce, and some seasonings. Whatever your favorite is fine. This, if you want to have an alternate kind of pizza, you could put different toppings. I know there's popular pizzas with some barbecue sauce or different things like that. Whatever you have, that's the glorious thing about pizza, pizza. It's very forgiving, and you just feel creative when you do some different things. So I just added my sauce pretty liberally, and then I'm using cheese. This is mozzarella cheese, and it's a part skim cheese. What that means is it's a lower fat cheese. Honestly, mozzarella is one of the cheeses that's pretty forgiving. Some of your other low fat cheeses might not be as delicious, but mozzarella, you don't notice a lot of a difference. So that's one that I'm always gonna choose, the part skim variety. And then because we're going to try to make this as healthful as possible, we're just gonna add a few of our favorite toppings. I'm gonna put some green peppers. Mushrooms would go lovely on here. You know, I'm not gonna get in the big pineapple debate, but if that's something you like, you do you. And then I have some pepperoni. These are just some really simple turkey pepperonis, but really whatever you like is gonna go lovely on here. Whatever works for you. Big thing about pepperoni, you notice that I'm not loading my thing with pepperoni. I want the flavor, but even choosing a leaner protein like a turkey pepperoni, it's still a fairly high fat meat. So we're using a little bit for the flavor, but more or less letting the other flavors of our other ingredients rise out. So we're just gonna pop this in the oven for about 5 to 12 minutes, depending until our cheese is nice and melted and everything looks like it's done.